The note crumpled beneath my fingers was the only clue to unraveling a mystery that had haunted me since Dad vanished 2 weeks ago. It read simply, "Under the bridge at midnight, proof of what happened." The handwriting, unmistakably Dad's, sent shivers down my spine as I tucked it into my pocket and hurried out of Mama Rosa's, dodging curious glances. Everywhere I looked, Tony loomed in the shadows like a dark omen, his smirk wider than usual today. He seemed to know something about my father's disappearance, but refused to share details unless I promised allegiance to the new territories. Whatever that meant, it wasn't going to save Dad anytime soon. The sun began its descent behind the factory smokestacks as I raced home, phone buzzing insistently in my hand. Another missed call from Tony, another message of cryptic urgency. My heart pounded with each step, every corner felt like a trap waiting to snap shut. By the time I arrived at the bridge, dusk had turned to night and the air chilled my bones. The old hydroelectric dam stood silent and menacing across the river's murky waters, its lights flickering as if warning me away. But there was no backing out now. Dad's note beckoned with a gravity that demanded answers. I hesitated at the bridge entrance, listening for any sign of movement in the darkness. Then, just when I thought maybe Tony had backed down, a figure emerged from under the overpass. It was him, Tony, waiting like he'd been expecting me all along. "Good you came," he said, voice low and dangerous as he lit a cigarette. "Your dad, he wasn't exactly honest about what was happening around here." I swallowed hard, fists clenching at my sides. "What are you talking about?" Tony took another drag of his smoke before exhaling slowly into the night air. He knew too much, saw too much, he had to be silenced. His eyes darted nervously around our secluded spot. "You killed him?" I could barely force the words out through clenched teeth. "No," Tony replied too quickly, "but someone did it for me." My mind raced with questions, but my body was rooted in place, paralyzed by fear and disbelief. Then suddenly, from the shadows behind Tony, a figure lunged forward, dark and indistinct under the dim bridge lights. Before I could even react, Tony's face twisted into an expression of pure terror as he was pulled backwards towards the riverbank. The figure dragged him screaming into the darkness with no trace left but echoes of his panicked cries. I stood frozen in shock until the sounds faded away completely. Then, with a clarity only fear can bring, I knew what had to be done. Racing back home, I grabbed my father's old journal and every scrap of paper detailing Tony's activities. By morning light, I found myself at the police station, handing over evidence that could finally expose the truth behind Dad's disappearance, no matter how terrifying or unbelievable it might seem. In those moments under the bridge, I faced a darkness far deeper than anyone could imagine. But now, with each document and testimony laid bare before law enforcement, justice would be served. And perhaps my father's memory could find some semblance of peace at last.